right, little audio test here, getting rolling. And as soon as I get the green light, we'll be off to the races on a Tuesday. Yo, do we have good audio? Cool. All right. Yeah, we got some good audio. Let's play one. Then I'm going to just turn into an absolute monster and be mean. I'm going to be mean today. Check a couple of things out. Make sure I can reach stuff. Okay. All right. Something like that. Let's just try it. Who knows? All right. Rock and roll music mixed with a little country music, making a little thing that kind of my music somewhere in the mix of all of that. All right, all right. Let's vent, let's rant, let's get ugly. It's about that time. Old Peepaw's mad today, and I'll tell you why. Let me just relay my seething, evil, brutal hatred of the world. It's not true. I love the world, but there's things in it that I don't like, and one of those things was my experience this morning. God, it hurts me to say this, but I feel like you guys chime in for the honesty. IK Multimedia, you have let me down. Tonex Software, you have let me down. Universal Audio, you too have let me down. What happened this morning, kids? What happened? What made me so mad? Well, it's going to start with what made me happy. That's seeing our good friend Jim. I don't want to mispronounce his last name. It's going to be Jim Gaustad, Gaustad. Jim released these, did a lot of research on the old Van Halen. As you can see, it's right there. We're ready to rock. We're ready to play Van Halen songs. Jim released the 78-79 tone pack via Tonex, IK Multimedia. Boy, I was just giddy. I felt like the Christmas movie where all he wants is the genuine Red Ryder BB gun. I was like, there it is. And then everybody just kept saying, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. Well, so I get it. I get online. I'm not one to ask for endorsements. That's a feel bad thing for me. It's like if you got to ask for it, something's not right. And if I do ask for something, I say, can I make something for you? Can I make a video? Loan it to me, I'll send it back. I just don't ever want something for free. And I know Jim put in a lot of work on these 78 Van Halen tone packs. And I've kept up with the project. And I'm going to put my money there. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody really put in the effort. I support things. I'm a big fan. Like, I have subscriptions to music. You know, I'm just like, I buy music. I buy records. I buy products. So this was just another example of me trying to not be a hypocrite within my own industry, which is, please support me and support the products and, financially help me out. But while I get stuff for free, nah, man, that feels bad. So I buy it and I go to the website. It's fine. I wouldn't call it a bad purchasing experience, but it's the typical plug-in crap. Here's your code, here's your license, here's your stuff. I use an Apollo X8, and I have to do some kind of creative matrix work with it to do things like what I'm doing right now, which is live stream using OBS with multi-cameras and you getting live audio, with a real amp and my pedal board and load box, and you get direct tone, all the things. Like it's not what I would call an easy, simple setup, okay? I get in there, I purchase my rig, and I'm happy. I see all the amps. Okay, you got to download this, download that, install, click the folder, do all the things. I get it there. It's not my first day doing that stuff. Go to turn it on, choose my input and output, feedback loop. This weird, like if Darth Vader had asthma. Feedback loop. I'm checking all my ins and outs. Okay. Doing the thing, doing my due diligence. Okay, it's not working. It doesn't like the matrix that I've got for my loop back program, which is what works with OBS and all this stuff. I go in, I rechange the matrix. I put it on the matrix that I have that's for recording. I can't even show you that in real time while I'm live streaming because it messes up my audio ins and outs for this. But it's the thing that allows me to record into my DAW, make records, play on my sessions or whatever I'm doing. That should be the solution. I'm going guitar cable into input 1 on the old Apollo, and tell it where I want input 1. Input monitor left, monitor right, outputs. And it just is a complete nightmare. I work on this thing for 2.5 hours, and I'm so mad. The longer it goes, the madder I get. And it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I bought it this morning, 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted to have it loaded up, ready to rock. Hey, we're going to live stream today. Check out these sick Van Halen tones. I had it all laid out. Doesn't work. Can't get it to work. Not saying that it's not gonna work, but I'm saying it does. It's not simple. Let's clarify a couple of things here. And this is going to sound like humble brag or I'm trying to be superior. I'm not. But I want to state some facts. Professional musician, check. I obviously know gear. I wired up this entire analog wall into a KHE. Everything works great. Okay, tones, right? Everything's rock. Apollo, live stream. I'm not a complete moron when it comes to software integration and figuring out workarounds. Like I was one of the first guy a few years back that got into loopback and was like, hey, this can help. It was during COVID. Remember when like every musician was trying to do Zoom meetings and like everything was like collapsing down and it didn't work. And I was like, yo, loopback can do it. Okay, I'm a clever guy when it comes to this. Nothing. Beat my head against the wall. Basically, in a computer situation, you've got every piece of gear is trying to fight for the lead on in and out, right? Like there's no like picking up a cable and seeing the in and out of it like there is in analog world. So why am I not making a point? The point is virtual amps software, it's supposed to be this end all be. It sucks, man. It sucks. Jim has busted his butt to give us this product. Getting to the product is a pain in the butt. Now, it might be completely different. I'm looking right over here out of frame. I've got a Scarlett, a Focusrite, and I'm going to try it on my laptop. But that still doesn't make it where I can live stream this thing. Like, how am I supposed to get system audio to me and to you, the viewer, and use all this stuff in real time? And it's just like, it is just absolutely infuriating. Like, infuriating. And it's not because I feel like I've been ripped off. I know those tones are good. I can't use them. So the virtual software instrument thing, you're at the mercy of all of the ones and zeros all the time. That's awful. It's awful. When Jim made these tones, he used the real gear. Like he used the Marshall heads, all the cabinets, the Vega or Vega. Was it Vega? The Vega wireless system that like Ed used had the 3 gain stages. I think maybe Angus Young is privy to that thing, like the preamp in it or whatever. He used all the real stuff and then he captured it. And then you're just at the mercy of the ones and zeros. Sucks. I plugged into my Fractal using Jim's videos. Man, in 14 minutes, I was within 60%. Like, was it perfect? Was it exactly as good as Jim's? No. Was it close to the average person? To like our wives or girlfriends, right? Probably, yeah. If I played like Ain't Talking About Love, they'd be like, oh, cool. I like this song. But would it be like spot on for us? No. But if you gave me a little bit more time, I could increase that percentage. Fractal stuff is no nonsense for me because it lives in its own box. Not to say that you can't buy the Tone X box thing, but you're still taking the thing you make in 1.0 land and you put it in the box. Look, this all could be a problem with the UA. This could be a problem with the in and out matrix. I don't know where the problem is, but I can tell you right now, it feels bad to be so excited about something and not be able to have it. That's just, it's not like buying this. You know, you see it on Sweetwater, you're like, dude, I'll watch Andy. He's always playing that brown whiskey barrel. I want one. and you get it, and it's this. I do clinics and don't even take my guitars sometimes because they are this. They are this. The only thing difference is the hand torching. If you got a painted one like the silver, dude, same guitar. Without being the same guitar, it's the same guitar. Like I can walk in, get one off the wall, and it's the thing, and it's instant. With amps, you buy a Diesel Herbert, and it's like, that's a Diesel Herbert. There is no like looking for it or fooling with it or whatever. It's a huge investment. We're talking $80 for the Van Halen Tone Pack versus 68 numbers matching plexi and a couple of cabs, 10 G's ish right now. Current market on a 68 plexi is what, $6,000, $6,500. We'll call it 8. A couple of cabs, yeah, 10 grand. You're dealing with a huge difference. Then you got mic pre's. Everything's got its problems. It's just the fact that when you talk about these virtual amps, you're at the mercy of your operating system in your computer. Not like a quad cortex or a fractal. Because that's a thing over there. That's a thing that I run outs into the input, and the input on the interface just sees it like it sees anything else. I like that a lot. I do. And it works. And it works consistently, and it does the most important thing, and the reason I'm ranting and raving. The absolute most important thing to me as a guitar player and musician is to play the mother effing instrument. The more time I am dicking around with something, the less I'm playing, and the more reasons I hit like a stupid wrong note on one of my own songs after hitting all these really hard technical things. You know what I mean? Like, you got to play the instrument. You know what's going to make you sound more like Eddie Van Halen? Practice. It'll make you sound more like Van Halen than any plug-in on the planet. It's a fact. You have to play the effing instrument. And to be so excited to come downstairs and play the instrument and dick around with my computer, it is the most counterproductive thing on the planet. IK Media, if you are seeing this, Universal Audio, if you are seeing this, I am a flag-waving person that could potentially sell product for you, right? Like, that happens. If I see one of my favorite players playing something, I'm going to check it out. And you make it so convoluted within the software ecosystem that I couldn't even use it. I can't even use it. I've got to carve out time to mess with it. And after talking with some friends, I'm just like, man, I don't even want to. You've been counterproductive on the exact thing that you're supposed to make easy. And let's keep in mind, dude, I'm a video gamer. Like, I'm a guy that's getting the updates and the plugins and doing the stuff and Bluetoothing. I'm a car guy. I like engineering things. I like it. I like making things work good. And you made it so stupid that it doesn't work with a professional grade setup, Apollo X8 and a iMac. Like, it's like, come the hell on, And I think, here's where I'm going with it. If I get this frustrated and it's my career, dude, I can't imagine how it'd be if I was a dentist or a mechanic or a plumber or a guy that hung sheetrock, and at night I wanted to come home, plug into the Van Halen thing and be like, sick, look at these new tones, and it just not work. That's sad. Like, you're making people not want to play the instrument. Like, that sucks. On the flip side, if you got patience, you got time. I mean, it's, it's like, this is the argument. This is what it all boils down to. This right here is the modeler versus amp thing. I don't think it's sound anymore. Modelers sound great. I mean, listening to Jim play those Van Halen riffs on that thing sounded, I was like, yeah, shut up, take my money. I'm at the mercy of Apple updates. I'm at the mercy of UA updates. I'm at the mercy of IK Multimedia and their drivers and the multiple gain stages and what it sees input and output. I'm at the mercy of an input and output matrix. I want to share this information through OBS. Can't do it. Sucks. That freaking sucks. You know what doesn't suck? Plugging into that SL68. If it blows up right now, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to take it to Dave Graff, have him change a tube, or John Cooper, put a new tube in it, put a new, recap it. This whole Fender Black, it's brand new in 1963. You know what I'm saying? Like, brand new in 1963. It still sounds like a Fender Blackface. It's incredible. Like, it sounds like freaking Brent Mason. Like, that's the thing. Line out of that into the aux. Go. It's expensive. Like, that's an expensive way to do it. But if something breaks, you know where to go. You know how to get there. You can see it. I think that's why Fractal's successful. I think that's why Quad Cortex is having success with their units. It's becoming more of a tangible thing. That's my rant, dude. And it just makes me feel bad. Like, it's just like, look, I want to play that guitar on those plugins, put on the cape and run around the room and pretend I'm Superman. Can't do it. It sucks. So, that's my rant. I'm going to build an early Van Halen patch. I've built one before. I'm going to refine it in the Fractal. Post it on Patreon for all you patrons. You have it. I'm not even going to sell it. This is a whole thing where it's like, I'm not even going to sell the patch. Maybe it goes on the website for sale, but if you're a Patreon member, you can have it. It's just, or here's another thing. Like, I think that VP4, the Eventide H3000, I think they're great. Look at this. I've got a Strymon Mobius down here. It's getting ready to come off the board because I don't like the menu system. It sounds great, but man, on my VP4, I can get a better pitch shifter. Like, can the Mobius do it? Yeah, but getting there. So this is coming off. I ordered 2 VP4s for my touring boards. Take the Mobius off. But why am I going to leave the Big Sky and the Halo on the board? It's because in the heat of battle, if I want less reverb, I don't want to go into a menu. I don't want menus. I don't want ones and zeros. Like, if I'm sitting here, dude, that Fractal, I can just beep, boop, beep all day long. That's fine. But when it's time to make the donuts and you got to be on stage in front of a crowd and your mix in the room is really bouncy and you need less reverb, or it's super dry. Let's say you're playing outside and it's super dry. I can't go through all my patches and fix it. I just want to reach down, boom, more of that. My delay is on an expression pedal and it's just more and less, you know? I'll give you that example. This is the exact reason I do it this way. That's so much delay. If I want less delay, That's a heat of battle solution to me. Like, that's one that works all the time. Now, is that saying that you're not going to have a cable go bad and be frustrated at your board? Anything can break anytime. Anything can break anytime. But I know where to look. I know where to go. Inside ones and zeros of a Mac. No, man. Can't do it. It's frustrating. I'm going to check out the chat. Let's fire off some questions. That's my rant. You guys rarely see a sour, vindictive A. Wood. Now, Chuck will get it every now and then because Chuck is like, what makes you want to keep practicing when the difference is, you know, you're working in your computer? I'm like, yeah, computer sucks. I want to play the guitar. To me, the most important thing is playing the instrument. Being a better guitar player starts and ends with playing the guitar, not twisting knobs, not looking for digital solutions. All right, let's hit the chat and go from there. Corey says, playing faster day, maybe caffeine. Just the nature of the song, Free Range Chicken. Hot news, guys. Hold up. Emergency press conference time. We were up for the Telly Awards with a couple of nominations. And the Telly Awards, if you don't know, Telly Awards is it's like the Grammys for like commercials and short films and animations and music videos and stuff like that. It's an award thing. We were up for them. Guys, check this out. My animated video that we did, shout out to Andy Jeffers, JJ Jeffers, Steve-O, Bear, everyone involved on the team. Master Gracie's Manor is the gold winner in directing for the Telly Award. Super stoked about that. Got us a gold Telly. Now we got several silvers. I'm going to go through them real quick. Master Gracie's Manor won silver Telly for use of motion capture, art direction, sound design, set design, virtual art direction. And then the music video for Rooster won a bronze Telly for directing, won a bronze Telly for music video, won a bronze Telly for history. And then Free Range Chicken, which was the tune I played at the start of the live stream today, it won a bronze Telly for videography, cinematography. It won a silver Telly for editing, a silver for music video, and Master Gracie as a silver for film and shorts. Congratulations to everyone involved with those music videos. Sports Media Entertainment, they crushed it. If you haven't seen those videos, go check them out. They're on YouTube, all three. The Rooster music video, the Free Range Chicken video, and the Master Gracie's Manor video. But it's awesome to pull in a Telly Award because like winning stuff like that usually doesn't happen to guys that make instrumental guitar music. So that was really, really cool. And I'm really, really proud to be a part of that. I'm really proud to work with AJ and his team, and JJ, who directed and made the sets and did all the stop motion for Master Grace, is incredible. I need to make a whole video on this, and I've got to figure out what that's going to look like. But that is the emergency press conference. Now back to your regular scheduled program, and we're going to hit that chat up. We got Fabian in the house. Fabian says, fantastic playing as always. Just ordered a Sir Woodshed comp yesterday. You're going to love it. Sir Woodshed comp is the MSG for your tone. Let me give it to you. Here it comes. This is without it. Here it comes. Again, without it. With it. Really great stuff. Sounds great on the drive stuff too. This is without it on the drive. With it. So you're going to love that Woodshed comp. That's a little walkthrough right there. M. Hoff says, lol, the 78-79 pack. Yeah. Made me so mad today. So Corey James is saying, in my limited experience, my fractals are awesome with the single note stuff. Once you play a chord, tubes still shine bright, adding dimension and sonic goodness. I can back that, but I can get some really great rhythm tones with the fractal too. You got to get in there and, get in the minutia of it. Fabian's saying he loves the Tone X. I love both worlds combined. It's a dream. Times we live in, it comes to tone. I mean, there's never been a better time to be a guitar player as far as gear and options go. I will for sure give you that. But my experience today with both the routing matrix from the Universal Apollo and the plug-in from IK Multimedia, it was awful. So it was a horrible experience, and because of that, I'm just like, yep, I give that a bad review. Fabian says, I'm using Tone X with a Fryette power station live through a real cabinet. It's killing. So that's the thing. You're making it a hybrid thing. You're grabbing a capture and then you're putting it onto an analog environment. I can back that. Dustin says, the Synergy stuff the kind of perfect middle ground? I think the Synergy stuff doesn't even feel like middle ground. It just feels like amps, just changing out the preamp. I think it just feels like good amp to me. It doesn't feel digital at all. So Sahara's saying he had zero issue, wondered what was up on mine. There's no telling. I mean, that's the problem. I can't pop the hood and see that the radiator line is busted. You know what I mean? It's like it's in here somewhere. The problem is in there somewhere. So Zero is saying a 2 PC setup for streaming seems like the way to go. I mean, yeah, more money. So it's like, maybe when get enough Patreon subscribers to justify that extra purchase, then that's the thing. Tyrion says, I traded in the amp cab emulations from a Fractal FM3 for an Engel Steve Morse 100-watt amplifier. There's nothing like the real thing. That Steve Morse amp is a monster amp. Love it. Okay. Digging down through here. Lucas says, are we talking about plugins? I use Neural DSP and they sound great, but real amps the way to go. Yeah, Lucas, it's the plugins, and specifically it's the user experience in getting the plug-in virtual amp to work. Could be on the fault of the UA, could be on the fault of IK Media. Don't know. But that therein lies my frustration. Fabian says nothing beats the real deal for sure. Anyhow, playing live with a Tone X pedal through a real cabinet and IR for front of house sounds great. I use a hybrid rig live. I use a real amp and then all my effects, and then I use a UA audio aux. That goes to front of house. Or I'll use a Sir Reactive Load IR. That goes to front of house, and then I still go to a real cabinet. That's the perfect way to do it for me. Mark says, apps drive me crazy. Yeah, it's like it's just not fun. It's not fun. Apps are not fun. Digital menus are not fun. It's amazing what can be done with it. I admire the software technical genius of it all. But it's a consumer electronic. All right. It's the reason that a Porsche Taycan's $185,000 a couple of years ago, and now they're $70,000 because you can't give them away because now the Porsche Taycan is outdated. However, a 992 will hold its value because nobody's going to, nobody's going to restore a Tesla. That's the thing is like these digital units, it's a consumer electronic. It's not like a octave fuzz. It's a pedal. If you want this octave fuzz from Volbrook, I recommend this one highly. I haven't done my video on it yet because we're going to go compare it to my beloved GNI. Great pedal. Recommend it. It is what it is. You plug it in, it does its thing. And in 5 years, it's still going to be what it is. Look at the king of tones. Look at that kind of product. I highly recommend supporting pedal manufacturers because those are tactile things that you can drop in. You're like, yeah, that's what it sounds like. There it is. That's the thing. That's the gag. So Fishbulb says, this is just a stream. Not saying it's not important, but imagine if this was on the clock for a session or something. Right there. I rest my case, Your Honor. Fish nails it. If I'm on the clock and I need an octafuzz, I get the damn octafuzz. I put it in the signal chain. Boom, done. There it is. Time is of the essence. And it gets me back here where I need to live on this instrument. This is where I need to live and play and be present, be mindful. Not in all this other crap. My boy Brad is saying I'm on the road most of the time. Bring FM9, which I played through. I played through Brad's FM9. It's killer. Love it. Sounded great. I have an FM9 laying in the floor right there. I'm a big fan of how these units work, mainly because everything is internalized. It's its own computer. I'm not relying on my Mac and my interface to figure out who's first in line, if it's OBS or loopback or UA or all this foolishness. It's like, take the outputs from that and put it in. If I want to run it through that power amp right there, that Synergy power amp, boom, I'm stereo. There it is, ready to go. I love self-contained. I don't like it when you just dump all the G.I. Joes into the bathtub at the same time. I don't like that. My other folks that were born in the mid-'80s, you're going to get that reference. Anybody that's not born in the mid-'80s, you're not going to get that reference. But trust me, it makes sense to me. Trust me. So Sahar says, I'm a software engineer. There's hours of QA that was done for the product before it was demand for ready for use. PCs have issues, nothing new, but don't blame the software. Maybe that's true, but somewhere in my signal chain, the software of the UA isn't liking the software of the OBS, isn't liking the software of Loopback, isn't liking the software of IK Multimedia. Those are 4 software units. So it's one of them's fault. Somebody in there is fighting for the lead, and I'm creating a loop. And I'm sure people are going to watch this video and be like, well, why does it matter? Because I want to live stream with it. I want to drop it into OBS and show you guys. So I need everything to work together, or it's useless to me. I'm not going to put out Van Halen cover videos as a career decision. Basically, it's an elaborate toy at that point. Its function to me is to be able to share it with the guitar community. That's its valuable function. So, yeah, one of the softwares are absolutely at fault. And I've had problems out of every, in and out virtual matrix. That's the problem. It's a patch bay, and but you can't see it. And again, Sahar's saying I'm a software engineer. How many of us are software engineers? If you're like, Andy, what are you good at? I'm like, dude, we could play a bluegrass gig right now, unrehearsed. I'll play mandolin on a bluegrass. I could go on stage with any bluegrass band right now, unrehearsed, because mandolin in that genre is my home territory. That is 1,000% home field advantage. That's like you saying you're a software engineer. Like, I don't even feel like electric guitar is home field advantage. But you put me on a mandolin on a gig where we're playing Bill Monroe tunes and Del McCurry tunes, yeah, it's going to be fine. It will be fine. But again, my granddad had a great saying, and I love this. God love him. He would say, we're all dumb, but not about the same things. Gramsci was a genius. We're all dumb, but not about the same thing. That's genius level material right there. And it's true. And I know if I am a clever guy, I'm not a software engineer like Sahar, but if I'm a clever guy, clever enough to be a one-man show and stream and do this with just me, I should be able to download IK Multimedia and get it to work with an Apollo UA, with Apollo X from Universal Audio. Beat my face against the wall for 2.5 hours this morning. That's not good. And it's like, at some point you go, you know what? Something is off the rails for the user experience, for the UI. And I've seen this. This is something I will pick on Fractal, Quad Cortex. I'll even pick on, my friends and family at Sur or Diesel or Wampler. I'll pick on everybody equally right now. Engineers love to give you every option under the sun. They want to give you every option. Look at a Mesa Boogie. Look at a Mark Series amp. Look at that Rhodes amp that Kyle Rhodes built to KSR. There's every switch and knob. You can get every sound on it. But how long does that take? That chews up my time. Give me less options and make it more good. And you're like, well, what is more good? I don't need an amp that can do everything on the wall and it's got one specific combination, magic combination that unlocks the Fender Deluxe. I don't need that. I need the Fender Deluxe. If I want something that's going to be a flamethrower, I'll get the Diesel or the 5153 that's in the other room. I think it's an engineering mindset that tells us we need to be all things to all people when it comes to product. Look at Bungie. Look at Bungie right now. You guys know what's going on in that camp with Marathon. They're trying to create an extraction shooter as a video game company made Halo and stuff. Trying to make an extraction shooter. They've really made a mess. They've tried to be all things to all people and in turn been nothing to anybody. I think that's really important to note. I bought this Dr. Z at Christmas because my buddy Jay up at Max Music gave me a monster deal on it. And I said, I'll take it. It does one trick. It is a one-trick pony. One thing. But boy, it's a good trick. It is a hell of a trick. And it sounds exactly like you think a Dr. Z would sound. Sounds like freaking Brad Paisley. I mean, it's like you turn it on and put the knobs basically anywhere, and it's just different shades of that Brad Paisley thing. It's awesome. Like, it's incredible, you know? And I think that's the problem with the digital landscape in general. It opens up the doors for you having to build so many variations of so many things. It makes the average user, I'm talking the guy that hangs sheetrock for a living, or the guy that's, let's take another group of clever individuals, like top end, performance guys that work at these top end garages and they're dyno testing and doing all this stuff. Maybe the guys working at Porsche, guys working at Audi. Like, they want to get home and not have to do that. They want things to be simple. I think that's the problem. Therein lies the issue. Constantly updating. You don't update a Dynacomp. It's a Dynacomp. Now, here's the thing. Does that mean that digital stuff doesn't have its place? Absolutely not. I don't want to sound like old man yelling at a cloud, but I want to stop acting like, and I want to stop pretending for myself, and I want to be a little more honest just in general about what works and what doesn't. And it's like when I hit these speed bumps that are like monumental, and I just go, this should not be this hard. This should not be this hard. For an $80 Van Halen tone pack that a guy made with real amps and cabinets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was created with the real stuff. There is that. There is that. Let's hit the chat. People are asking about the Giacomo Tura thing. As Tubemeister, what's your opinion on Giacomo Tura? Sorry, Giacomo, you can't steal. Stealing's bad. I feel like I'm on South Park. Stealing's bad, okay? Don't steal, kids, okay? And the other thing is, like, he mimed it. Like, you guys chime in here, and I'm live without a net. I don't get another take. If I miss a note, I miss a note. But it's like, it's the honest truth. Like, it's like, this is what I sound like, And Giacomo's not even playing what he's pretending to play, that he stole from somebody else, that he's monetized by selling tabs of stuff that's not his. It's just like, yeah, mess, stupid. Giacomo, if you're watching this, I hope you get it figured out, brother. Don't steal. Practice. Do those things. The bill comes due. You've got to be able to play. Okay. Wow, the chat really blew up there for a second. Earl's saying the Tone X. He's talking about the hardware. Okay. VP4 is badass. I love it. Love it. No, Sahara's saying what you're saying doesn't make sense. You think twos don't go out resistors, that won't make amps are awful. No. No. You break strings. It's like tires. No, you blow preamp tubes. One could blow right now. Tube could blow right now. But I know where to go get it. I know where to go fix it. When it's lost in the ones and zeros, it's like there's not a needle in a haystack. There's a needle in the Atlantic Ocean. You know what I mean? When the tubes blow, or when you break a string, or when an output's gone, or when a fret needs leveled, you know it when it's already there. You know what I'm saying? You replace the parts that you can tell that's wrong. Right now, I'm no closer than I was when I downloaded the stuff this morning. You know, again, it's probably different for your background because you're a software engineer. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm having this kind of problem and I do this stuff for a living, I couldn't imagine like a hobby level, like someone in my Patreon. I got a lot of dudes in that community, and a lot of dudes aren't used to software stuff. I mean, they would just be toast. It would be cooked. Dustin is saying, Andy, do you have any insight in the 80s Strat players' single coil choice? Hum single setups. I've been having trouble dialing. I checked the Huff and Lukather. They had high output singles. It's actually not true. Huff singles are low output with the mid boost, with the boost in there, the Tyler boost. So he had hotter singles than another one, but the Fender 64 that he plays a lot, they're not super hot. I think a big thing for that 80s thing is the preamp, like the onboard preamp. And I'm still testing things. We're having the purple guitar is basically a test mule. And I noticed when that preamp's in, boy, it does that thing. So that's a big part of that neck pickup tone. Now, I will say this. Andy Timmons gets a really great neck pickup tone. It's not necessarily 80s or time-stamped. It's a great neck pickup tone with no preamp. But that's a DiMarzio, basically a humbucker and a single coil spacing. So you have that. Earl says, check out the Rodecaster Pro Ultimate Audio Solution for Podcasters. Seems to work well. Maybe to check that out, yeah. Just checking. I'm trying to go fast here. Peterson strobe tuner on buffered setting on the way in. I'm missing something. A lot of Strat aficionados with the hum singles setups eventually. Timmons, Landau. I mean, I think it's just different sounds that you like. I think to me, it's not like having one ring to rule them all. It's about just finding the thing that's predominantly your sound and then stepping into something else. Like I've got a Les Paul here, I got an Explorer over here, I got a Strat. It's like I still play this one more than I play anything else, but that doesn't mean that this is always the right answer. Yeah. Wesley is saying, great tone, Andy. Play any of your single coil guitars through a high gain amp, high gain pedal. Yeah. I mean, they sound like my record is, there's like one of my favorite tones is a back pickup single coil Telly with high gain. Just sounds awesome. Chuck says live stream is also on the clock for gear. Yeah, that's a great point. Like we're making the donuts right now. Stuff's got to work. Area 859 says Guthrie is using a FM9 on tour. He is, but he's using them into powered Laney cabinets, and it's its own standalone unit. It's not lost in the ones and zeros of desktop software. So that's a different kind of thing. Braxel says, what about having to get down on the ground to program it, or do you put it up high to program it? Let me know which one you're talking about. Not sure. When I'm programming, I usually put the FM9 up here and then use the software editor and do it that way. But again, when you're in the heat of battle, if something's not right in the FM9, you're just married to it. Versus if I've got too much overdrive on a pedal, I can just reach down and turn it. The analog, tactile, modular aspect of pedals is really tough to beat, man. Bubba Skater says, learn to code. Yeah, with all this extra free time that I have, I should just learn to code. Problem solved. Somebody said this in the video that I did about the flying. You guys saw that video. The flying can be a nightmare thing. One guy goes, yeah, man, here's a solution. Just buy your own jet. Like, There it is. Buy your own jet. Problem solved. Yeah, it's really good. Andy, do you ever use cheap amps, say a Hot Rod Deluxe instead of your Cerebella? Would you have the same opinion of amps if you couldn't afford expensive ones? Absolutely. I'll tell you this right now. Let me tell you fine folks of the internet. If you don't have a lot of dollar paper, get 2 Blues Juniors and swap out the speakers. You're less than $1,000 for the whole thing. Run your pedals in front of it in stereo. It sounds magnificent. Like, people sleep on a Blues Junior. Like, that is a awesome amplifier. Put a nice sounding speaker in that thing and go to work. Let it be done. I love that amp. As far as other bang for the buck, if you're in a rock band and you need shred tones with a little bit of clean but predominantly shred, get the 5153 Iconic amp and put a delay in the loop and go to work. That amp is a monster. It's a bang for the buck amp. And if you got a little bit more amp, I would still consider the 5153 amps. I still consider them a value amp because you're not in the Bogner diesel ecosystem of price, but it plays ball. I mean, that lead channel on that 5153 is a monster. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think quality equates spending big dough. I really don't. Not at all. Hey man, Joyo says preamp pedals and a quilter sounds good as most tube amps. Absolutely. I think those quilter amps are fantastic. Tom Atkins says web devs. Yeah, I mean, it's like easy for, if it's that thing. Speaking of dyno tuners, how much power was your old Supra making years ago? This is a great off-topic question, but Guitar John wants to talk about my old beloved Mark IV Supra. It was a 64 trim, dual ball bearing. We made 570 on pump gas with 15 pounds of boost. Pretty ripping. That was at the rear wheels. Yeah, I was thinking it was 570. I know it was five. I know it was mid fives. I know it was pounds. That was 13 years ago ish. 15 years ago. It was a monster. And back then, you got to remember, back then, cars didn't make that kind of power. Now everything's got 700 horsepower. But like back then, nobody was in the fives. Yeah, it was a delight, man. That thing was a delight. I hate that I had to sell it. A guy actually posted it the other day. The owner has about 5 or 6 other Mark IV Supras. But yeah. Yeah, Sahar's saying, I don't want to sound condescending, but did you update the software and reboot? Yeah, I mean, there's all of those things that I went through. And I appreciate the help. I don't want to sound like I'm never going to use. I'm hell-bent for leather to make this work. So I'm not giving up on it. It's not like it's not going to happen. I am saying it was a horrible experience. So those two things can coexist. Like, I'm going to figure it out, but I'm going to hate every second of it. I would rather figure out some other technique thing. I would rather figure out a new song. I would rather learn the Back in Black solo. I would rather do a million different things that involve guitar. I would rather spend my time learning Van Halen songs than doing software. But I'm going to get it done because I want to be able to bring it to you guys. And that's part of what this channel and this community is about, is giving you guys a 1,000% unfiltered, unpaid for opinion. You know who pays for your opinion on this channel? You. The Patreon members, you guys. The guys that throw $5 in the tip bucket here on the channel, you're the one that pays for it. Companies don't pay me to do the reviews. I don't like that company right there that makes that Journey guitar. They don't pay me. That's a loaner. Sweetwater loaned it so I can make the video. It's like, I don't do that thing because I want to maintain the honesty of this is really good, in my opinion, and you guys can be okay with believing it. Or like today, where I go, this was a horrible experience. I would bet the farm that I could email IK Media. I could talk to them. they would probably give me more preferential treatment. This is all just assuming. They may not. They may be like, we hate Telecaster players. Go screw yourself. But there is an assumption there due to my position in the guitarist ecosystem that I could get some preferential treatment and they could walk me through everything. But is that really the honest review? That's not honest, is it? Because could the average consumer buy the software and have someone from the company spoon feed them the setup? I doubt it. Maybe, but I doubt it. So that's not real. That comes at a price. I could make more money doing the paid reviews, but I don't think that's how I'm going to earn your respect. Just to be blunt, you know what I mean? And that's why the Patreon thing and the subscription thing is so important, because that allows me to maintain that like gloves off approach to everything. Dustin's saying, sorry, Andy, my question was 80s Super Strat players. They seem to favor high output singles. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a thing. It's definitely a sound. So I don't want to say that it's like two things that do something awesome, but you need to hear both to decide if you like them both or one or neither. Like I've got a beautiful, that orange. Let me just bring it out here. Andy Timmons loved this guitar. When we were at Woodshed, he played it a little bit, and he was just like, he calls me Andrew. He said, Andrew, this is a guitar right here. He said, there's nothing wrong with this thing. And I said, brother, there's not. This has got a great neck pickup sound. Just glorious. It's special. So, I mean, it does that thing. Now, okay, one more time on the neck pickup. Again with... Okay. Now I'm going to go to the Dan Huff guitar, which is like the classic stack with the preamp in it. Great neck pickup tone, totally different. This one's silky. This one's a little silkier. And there's a little chirp at the top of it. If I was good, if I could play. Really great ringtone. Come on, Andy. I could sit there on that guitar all day long. Okay, what just happened where I just started mindlessly getting lost in the playing? Boys, that's the game. When something grabs me like that and I just want to keep playing, it's over. That's where I could sit for hours. That's what I'm looking for, in the good way. Not sit for hours in the bad way. Okay, let's hit it up here. One more small request from my man Sahar. Whatever you do to resolve the issue, please share it with us so hopefully we can navigate it better. Absolutely. I'm hoping to document the whole process. Dustin says, since Andy talks cars, my weekly plan is to listen to Moon Over the Cast from Gran Turismo soundtrack. Japanese jazz fusion bands are killer. Man, let me tell you another soundtrack that's awesome. Mario Kart 8. We've been playing a lot of Mario Kart, been having company over, weather's getting good, grilling out, turning on Mario Kart. Dude, the music is spectacular. It's so good. David Grantham says, what speaker upgrade did you mention for the Blues Junior? Let me tell you, I think it's all about that G1265. Is real nice. Italian hand. Real nice. Andy, listening from work, nurse here from Toronto. Thank you for what you do. I got a family full of medical industry nurses, and my nephew, my little cousin, he just graduated and got his pinning ceremony, so there's a lot of love for the medical industry. Dustin says Huff stacks were $13K. Tim has single size humbucker. Any inside, if you notice the same. So that's the hot stack, right? Yeah. There's some it's you got to remember, and this is quoting John Sir, that resistance number doesn't just mean the heat of the pickup. That's a resistance number. So there's a lot of things that make something feel and sound more hot, more low end, less low end, more compressed, less compressed. Other than that number, don't live and die by that resistance number. And I learned that from John, because that dude knows his stuff for sure. The DeMarzio EJ Custom humbuckers have a nice SC vibe. I mean, I have no doubt about it. I'm just checking here. Braxel says, are you selling the Huff guitar? Yeah. Nah, man, it's funny, man. Everybody wants that guitar. Like, there's been a lot of love on that guitar since it come out. Hopefully, I can come up with a solution for a Andy Wood model that does that thing. We just can't do it that way because that's like the most not cost effective. That guitar would be $8,000. Like, it's like the worst way you could do it for a production. I mean, it really is. It's why the Tylers are $7,500 or whatever, $7,800, because it's like there's only one way to get there, you know. So I'm trying to solve that problem too. Fabian Ratzik is chiming in. By the way, guys, Fabian's a monster player. Go to his channel, check him out. I've known Fabian for a few years via the internet, and he's a great player. So go check out his stuff. Definitely knows how to get some good sounds. Renan Lucena, thank you. Says, love your work with Gary LaVox. Thank you so much. I enjoy working with Gary and Jay and all those guys. I actually talked to Joe Don not too long ago when he did those Vertex videos. All three of those boys are near and dear to my heart. They gave me an opportunity in 2015 that really changed my trajectory. And they'll always have like the Andy Wood black card. Like, they have the American Express black card. Like, if those Flats boys need anything from me, they got it, man. They were good to me when I didn't have a resume. So, yeah. Play some As I Lay Dying. I don't know a single As I Lay Dying song. My buddy Jason plays for them, I think. Isn't that the band Jason Richardson plays for? I mean, I'm buddies with Jason. I just don't keep up with that scene. He plays for them, right? And it's As I Lay Dying, right? No, All That Remains. That's Jason's band. All That Remains. Sorry. Yeah. You could tell that I don't know that stuff. Peter Gryffindor says, as a bedroom aficionado, the Axe effects cured my gas for amps and effects. I can get every tone at a bedroom level, and I just love it. Let me tell you, Axe effects is great. I love units that are all contained like that. I don't have to deal with something in my computer, in my Mac. I don't have to dealing with the Apollo. Just getting OBS, Loopback, and my Apollo to work together is an act of Congress. And we all know how that works. It doesn't. Yeah, Jason's a good talent, man. Jason's a really special metal player. Like, when it comes to metal guitar and high technical shred guitar, creative riffs, creative things, like him and Luke Holland do there's some special stuff. And I know he's the kind of guy that's out there playing with a band and playing standing up, and that's what matters to me. I don't care if anybody can sit behind a screen. I need to see you playing standing up in a room. That's where it counts, baby. That's the racetrack. That's where it matters. So yeah. With that said, Dustin says one of the Mario Kart composers in the same band of the guy that composed GT soundtrack. Here's some video game music stuff. Zach Zinger did music for Elden Ring, if you like that music. He's the one that's providing the Asian instruments on my song Cherry Blossoms. There's just knowledge, behind the scenes knowledge, behind the curtain. Checking out a couple more questions, then we're going to call it. Sean says, I'm constantly having issues getting IK products to work. I like their stuff, but the product manager could use some work. Andy, you really need a RME interface. Loopback is such a snap with Total Mix. Once you use it, you'll never go back. Is it a thing where it's like the RME is what I need to use for streaming and stuff? The problem is the Apollo sounds so damn good. Like, that's what I love about it. It sounds so good. The Apollo is just, the preamps, like this, its tone. I noticed, like, I came from a Focusrite is what I had. And when I put in the Apollo, I was like, holy cow, this sounds a million times better. Just the clarity. RME blows Apollo away. Whoa. Let's check it out. Let me check it out. How much is the RME? I'm on the internets right now. RME interface. This is jumping over to Sweetwater. You going to get me to leave my Apollo? Is that what's happening? So the big boy 4 mic line preamps. This is a 4-banger. It's 3100. Do they not have more than that? More inputs, I mean. I want a lot of inputs. All the inputs. Here's 30 in and 30 out for 2000. What was it that I was looking at? 30 in, 30 out. Okay, no, it is it. This is the RME Fireface UFX 3. That's 94 in. Gotcha. I'm looking here. Braxel says I got the RME UFX 3 and M16 Pro work together. I got 24 ins and outs. Yeah, okay. Fabian says, what's your favorite speaker IR with your SL68? I actually use the aux where you make your own, and I use the 412 thick, 57, 121, or sometimes a 421. I like a 421 on a guitar cabinet. It's real smooth. I like that. In my Sir Reactive Load IR, I actually have John Petrucci's IRs. John gave them to me, him and Jimmy T. And so I have a bit of some insider trading there, some insider baseball. But yeah, I got John's IRs, so I use those. They're really good. Oh, yeah. Many people are doing the Huffcaster thing now. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like Dan Huff is just the guy. Dan Huff's going to be at Woodshed in September, and super stoked for that. We only have a few slots available. If you want to come, use code AWOOD300 to get a $300 discount if you're watching this live stream. And yeah, you can join us and hang out with Dan for 4 days. Dan, Paul Gilbert, Mark Letary, Trey Hensley, 4 days, myself, right outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And it's going to be an excellent time, a most large time, jumbo-sized. Charles says, first time catching you live, do you have a normal streaming schedule? You're looking at it, baby. Tuesday at 3 o'clock is when we stream. And I usually leave them up for everybody to go back and listen and watch. The Petrucci hours is great. Yeah. Anyone can buy the Dream Theater hours. You ain't special. Maybe now, but I don't know if I've got the ones that, I don't know. Jimmy sent them to me a long time ago, so I don't know if they're what's being out. I don't know. I know that I got them before the ones that were sold. I know I got them before the one that was in the Axe Effects, so I've had them for a minute. I think I got the ones that were made when they made the Alien, that record that had Alien on it. So I do have some insider trading. The reason I know them is because Jimmy T is he mixed my record. John is a good buddy, and the distribution label and my distribution for my album Charisma was all John helping me get that placed correctly. Yeah, I checked out the RME. It looks sick. So I mean, is it a thing where it's like, that may be the answer? I don't know. I'd hate to get it and just have a whole new set of the same problems, which would be real stupid. Andy, have you ever been to the John Petrucci camp? Actually, yeah, I taught at it. I guess it was 2020 something. 2020. Yeah, it was me and Tosin and Mateus, Jason Richardson, and John Petrucci. Kiko Loureiro. Yeah. Fabian's saying is the York audios are fantastic. Braxel says, I have zero issues with RME. The drivers are rock solid. If it was crap, I would tell you. I would not spend over $6,000 for 2 units if it was crap. Amen, brother. I like that endorsement right there. Loopback is a snap with total mix that is on the unit. You need a gummy to unwind from all the debugging you've been put through. Yeah, no doubt, brother. Lana says, one question, unrelated. How to keep focused on 2 root notes. For example, B flat in context of F major, if that makes sense. Let's just take a gander at it. How to keep focused on 2 root notes. Let's take a gander. If I'm in the key of F major, woo, Sounds good. Lord, that sounds good. If I'm in the key of F major and I'm trying to keep an eye on the B flat, that's kind of telling me that I've got like a 4 chord over a 1 thing, right? Like if I'm in F, which I'm getting this sound. See how I'm kind of thinking about that? I just started playing, but it's like, to me, it's like, here's F. And instead of thinking of B flat as its own thing, because that gives me a dominant sound. When I'm thinking of B flat against an F, I'm thinking of it like B flat Lydian. B flat sharp 4, sharp 11. There, that kind of sound. Sorry, my thing's done. So I'm seeing it as that thing, right? Time. So for me, it's like seeing everything as the key of F. So if I'm going to play an F, probably play that different. And then I would play the 2 chord from that, so you'd have, then the 2 chord of that would be 3 chord. Even though I'm going to play that A minor, it's still only this. Because we're in F, right? See that, right? So that 4 chord, like that. Does that help, Lana? One more time for Lana. She says how to keep focused on 2 root notes, for example, B flat in the context of F major. I'm actually just staying at F major and outlining what that B flat, what that 4 looks like. But the biggest thing in that is that sharp 11. Gives you that major 7 sound. See what I mean? kind of the way to see that 4-in-1 share information. It's like you're never leaving the home scale of F. You're just kind of, when you go to your 4 chord, you got to remember your 4 chord is B flat. It's like you're still playing F over B flat, but you're outlining all of those textures that would really make it sound like B. Like a really great sound would be like the B flat, the F, and the E natural, right? That gives you that like stretched kind of sound that's sharp 11, like the E is the sharp 11, right? Braxel says, Andy, I thought I showed you my studio photo. You may have. Yeah, I think you might have. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, cheers, Lana. Man, that's what it's about though, right? It's like playing. It's about playing. It's not about the stuff. I love the stuff and I love the gear, but it's got to be inspiration, right? Sahara says, Andy, I'm surprised you don't have any nerd friends in the area that can help you out with the loop back. Nerds are everywhere. Man, I probably do, but it's like, I don't know. Chuck's been huge assistance with, things, and, Joe White's in the area and my buddy Jace Morey. But like, it's pretty much just me running this situation, and guys that are around here, like Ben Eller's a good friend, but he doesn't do any live streaming. So he's never, like, none of the guys that I know that are recording are doing live streaming. So it's getting everything to talk to each other and introducing OBS into the equation, right? It's not just making it work for audio and working in the DAW. It's making it work with the DAW, the OBS, the loopback, the UA, like all that stuff. Christopher says the tone's wicked. It's got that balance. Yeah, man, that's really special setup, and it's really hard to emulate. Like, I don't really know what to do. That's kind of the way to get there. Like, so Ricardo says, Andy, why don't you play for us an improvisation inspired by Alan Holdsworth? Alan Relax. I mean, like, if I could play like Alan Holdsworth, I would. I would. That's like the same reason I don't, shoot hoops like Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Andy, check out Gear Talk tonight. They use the Rodecaster Pod Pro. I'll check it out. Okay, cool. With that said, it's about the witching hour, so I'm gonna do my shameless plugs. You can all leave if you don't want to hear it, but we have a bunch of new stuff on the store at andywoodmusic.com. If you want a sweet hoodie or a hat, or backing tracks, transcriptions, album bundles, all those kind of things. Tone packs. I mean, there's like a million different things. As I make tones in the Fractal, I put them up there for sale. The full transcriptions to the new album Charisma, if you want to play along. The backing tracks to Charisma, to Junktown. All those albums are over there at andywoodmusic.com. If you like what you see here, and you want to keep the machine going, like I said earlier, I don't really do the paid thing from manufacturers to pay me to play their stuff to, review it. I don't do that thing. No offense to those that do. I just, if you want to keep the lights on here and you want us keeping this thing, think about dropping $5-10 in the Patreon machine. That's patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. With that subscription over there, you get hundreds. I think we might be over 1,000 now. Posts, everything. There's Debussy, there's Mark O'Connor solos, there's everything you can imagine on the old Patreon machine over there. There's so many exclusive posts and content. I can't even really remember what all is over there. But that's at patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. We also do a live Zoom masterclass. Tomorrow I'm going to go live from the Novo and Rev Amp event tomorrow night in Nashville, Tennessee. That'll be exclusive to Patreon members. You're going to get a quick walkthrough, and then we'll do a hang afterwards. I'm also going to be filming with my man Rob Baker tomorrow. Going to be on Rob's channel, hanging out, which is going to be so much fun. Rob and I overlap on our musical taste buds. He likes a lot of the same things I like. Eric Johnson and Van Halen and John Sykes. Like, we like a lot of the same stuff. So it's going to be really fun to hang out with Rob tomorrow. I'm going to get a lot of good video and exclusive stuff for my Patreon members over there. So with that said, thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I guess that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to dig back into this spider web. These are my thoughts. If you work with IK Media, don't kill me. Jim Gustad, or Gustad, however you pronounce your name. I'm such a fan of you, Jim. I'm such a fan of the things that you've done and how much time you put into the Van Halen pack. I can't wait to get it to work. Right now it doesn't work, but I can't wait to play it. I'm such a fan of you. So if you see this, shout out to Jim and his hard work. And then, of course, shout out to everybody else that helps me do what I do. And we'll see you guys next time.